today's news.
CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Wendy Gillette in New York. The June jobs report from the Labor Department was just released a half hour ago. It shows 209,000 jobs were added last month, about what economists expected. The unemployment rate slid slightly, now at 3.6%. Chief Investment Officer at Crossmark Global Investments, Bob Dahl.
This is the first time that we've seen some weakness, especially with some prior month revisions to the downside.
The Earth's average temperature keeps setting records, hitting another high yesterday. And the heat is sticking around today in many parts of the U.S. CBS News correspondent Manuel Bajorquez reports.
The mix of brutal heat and humidity has been felt across the country, from Arizona to Buffalo, New York, where the local pool provided a much-needed relief.
It's too hot, especially for kids. They just want to cool down in some sort of fashion.
In Maine, firefighters are bracing for an increase in heat-related emergency calls.
None of us that live in Maine are used to this kind of heat.
The man behind the 2019 Walmart shooting in El Paso, Texas, is scheduled to be sentenced. Family members of some of the 23 victims spoke after addressing the court.
My message to the shooter was that he wanted to take down Mexicans. He wanted to get rid of the Hispanic people here in El Paso, but he didn't do that. He failed.
A former interpreter in Afghanistan who fled the country when the Taliban took over was shot and killed while driving for Lyft in Washington, D.C. CBS's Deborah Rodriguez has more.
Ahmar Yar escaped the Taliban and moved his family to Pennsylvania for a better life. Jeremy Malone helped with the relocation.
His children were the most important thing to him. He brought them here because he wanted them to be safe.
After he was robbed at gunpoint in Philadelphia, the family moved to Alexandria, Virginia, where Yar was gunned down after a late-night Lyft shift. Surveillance video shows 4 boys running from the scene of the shooting, one shouting, "You killed him." LGBTQ businesses in Montana have sued the state over its ban on Drag Queen Story Hour, when drag queens read children's books in public places like schools and libraries that receive government funding. The Carters are marking a milestone today.
Former President Jimmy Carter and wife Rosalind are marking their 77th wedding anniversary with a quiet day at their South Georgia home. They are the longest married first couple ever. The 39th president is 98 years old and has been in home hospice care since February. The former First Lady is 95 and has dementia.
Jim Kursula reporting. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.